letter from Australia this week. Jaqui Lane joins us. Jack, great to have you on. You're doing very well in the Olympics, dear.
The girls are doing very well in the Olympics.
Same here. Men haven't won a thing. The women are winning it all here too.
Yeah, there's a funny thing going on social media. You know, they have the thing of the total Olympic tally, and then some wags put together one with the female Olympic tally.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, everybody has their kind of their day, I guess, and it's great. It's terrific. Australians are very happy.
Yeah. You did very well in the pool, better than probably you expected, did you?
Look, typically Australia's always been really, very good in swimming, although the wheels fell off the cart about 10 years ago. But, it's, so done well in the pool, but, there's a 14-year-old skateboarder who won,
Yeah, that's right. So another girl.
And then our kayaking people, the Fox girls. So there's some really interesting, I guess, different, newer sports that, in fact, Australia seems to be doing quite well at.
Yeah, I'm looking at the medal tally at the moment. No, seriously, you are doing very, very well. You're third behind the United States and China. That's batting well above your average. Yeah,
it certainly is. And as someone said, that Russia's not there, formally, although some Russian athletes are competing, but not under the Russian flag. So, look, it's very good. Very exciting.
Australians vested in these games, are they?
Very much so, actually, and, more than typically, given that it's in the middle of the night, obviously for you and I, for us to see it. But I think there's been a real energy around the whole diversity of sports, because usually most people focus on kind of, the swimming and the athletics, but, sort of boxing's, taken up, interest. And I think having, the women across all sports really competing well has been a real fillip, really, really good to see.
Someone's just made the comment that's because the women's events are more of a level playing field, less steroids. What do you think?
Well, of course, we've got the issue around whether, transgender and all the rest of that in some of the sports as well for women.
Yeah, I'm also thinking China. There was the allegation or accusation from some Australian swimmers that they weren't competing on a level playing field or in a level swimming pool.
Yes, well, that was always us. That always comes up. I think what can the athletes do about that other than stay focused on what they can do and just let WADA and all of the bodies that deal with all of this try and deal with it.
Yeah. Now, you've just got some breaking news you sent me this morning. Bruce Lehrmann was raided by the National Anti-Corruption Watchdog at an undisclosed location in June to do with the potential leaking of documents related to the submarine deal. Now, Bruce Lehrmann, is he the man that was suggested raped Brittany Higgins in Parliament buildings? Is that the one?
One and the same man.
You're joking.
No.
The anti-corruption watchdog...
Up he pops again.
According to this, 20 National Anti-Corruption Commission officers raided... He's got a girlfriend. Oh, for God's sake. His girlfriend's Earlwood home in June, and a team that included a sniffer dog, 2 uniformed New South Wales police to secure the property. And it's to do with Bruce Lehrmann holding French submarine secrets. Have I got that right?
Yeah.
I must. Yeah. This is a joke, surely.
Look, who knows? I mean, his lawyers come out and said it's, complete fantasy. It's kind of 007 stuff. But, you wouldn't, the NAC, we call it the NAC, they wouldn't be putting that many resources into something like this. If there's not something there, you would have thought.
Yeah, you would think so. I'm sort of interested, though, the fact that a relatively average staffer of a relatively average cabinet minister would end up with state secrets related to the abortive French submarine deal.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, maybe he got handed them by somebody to do something with. Who knows? I mean,
just photocopy them for a cabinet meeting or something.
Yeah,
And decided to hold on to them. He did a bit of a Donald Trump.
Yeah, something like that.
So they
Not
probably
beyond
found
the
him in the
realms of
shower.
possibility. Yeah.
Yes, listen, we over here are having a bit of a problem with electricity supply at the moment, and I'm not sure if you've caught up with it, but it hasn't rained. And we've had a very dry winter, and it's been a very cold winter as well, so there's been a lot more demand and a lot less supply. Have you got a similar problem over there?
Oh, welcome to our world. Well, and I was listening to that conversation you had earlier. So, we've had a cold, dry winter here too. And so the real debate here is, interestingly, around, because the current government is, shutting down coal-fired power stations, it's part of getting its renewable target. And the Victorian government has stopped any onshore gas exploration. So there's the debate here around reserving gas for domestic use, because large quantity of our gas gets exported, and that's all well and good, because the gas companies, the big Woodsides, the Santoses, and all the rest have 20, 30-year supply contracts with Japan, Korea, various other countries. And the export of those resources and LNG, there's no pipelines from those resources to the domestic gas market in the east.
Yep.
So it's not just simply as saying, let's take some of that gas and provide it, because there's no pipelines through which to provide it. But having exactly the same issue, and depending on the state you're in, Victoria's in a worse position than most other states, and of course our electricity prices are going up. So listening to your conversation, I'm shaking my head and thinking, well, welcome to our world.
Yeah, so what's the solution? I mean, the same problem here. We've got cheap electricity going to Rio Tinto to support their smelter at Bluff. We've got cheap gas going to Methanex, a Canadian-based company, to support their methanol production in Taranaki. It's times like that you tend to look around and go, what happened to New Zealanders first? Are the Australians asking the same questions?
Sort of. I mean, we're a slightly different, I guess, position, because we've just got a surfeit of gas and hydro and bringing on, renewables. It's more about so it's more about the price rather than the availability, and also, I guess, in terms of demand management. But electricity and electricity pricing is a real cost of living issue here. So the federal government provided a $300 bill subsidy as part of the budget. The Queensland government, because it's going to the polls in a month or two, has provided a $1,000 subsidy, a bit of a bribe, for electricity for Queenslanders. So here it's more a game of buying acquiescence for the increase in price of electricity.
Right.
And
okay.
So similar, but so similar in terms of, do you reserve gas for domestic consumption, or do you enable industry? And they are buying in bulk, so you buy anything in bulk, you get a discount. But then I don't know what regulator you have, but how does the regulator manage those two demands? Because they're not really mutually exclusive. You need gas to power business, and they buy in bulk, and you've got consumers who typically, have a retail price.
Yep. Listen, we've got a scandal over here at the moment. It's a trial that the tabloid media absolutely adore here, because it's to do with sex, drugs, privilege, profession, death, and murder. So it's the trial of a doctor, an eye specialist by the name of Polkinghorne in Auckland for the murder of his wife. Australian prostitutes all over it as well. It's delightful. But you've got something
haven't
very.
Heard of it, haven't heard about that here.
Listen, it'll keep the media in this country going probably next few weeks actually.